Uh, Former President Trump held a fundraiser last night for you. I don't know if you were there. Are you planning on having the former president campaign with you in New York State?
So it was Sunday evening, the event, not last night, just for the record. And at this moment, there aren't additional events planned, but as far as my schedule goes, at some point this evening, I'll get an itinerary for tomorrow. We have a good team that puts together the schedule, and then I go do the itinerary. So as far as our schedule goes, as far as I'm aware, there isn't an additional event planned, but I wouldn't read into that one way or the other.
Would you like him to come with you to rallies and campaign for you actively?
Yeah, over the course of this campaign, over the next 60 days, we'll be traveling all over 62 counties of this entire state. There are many counties that strongly supported President Trump. There are other counties that didn't. And as far as it relates to campaigning with anybody, it's important that you're campaigning with the people who most strongly support a particular person who's campaigning on your behalf. So if we were to talk about there being an event, there would be a conversation to be had as to where that event would be held and when, what kind of an event, who are we meeting with, who are we rallying with, and that would apply with regards to anyone who comes. But as far as that I have not had that particular conversation, but that's, if we were to have a conversation, that's where we would start.
Would you like him to campaign with you or not? It's just a simple question, yes or no. Would you like him to come with you to a rally to campaign with you?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we might do. If we were to do an event, it would likely be an event that would be in some of the areas. I would imagine it would be in some of the areas where he might have the most amount of support.
So
but again, that's it's a premature back and forth that we're having here, because this right here is the first conversation on that topic that I've had.
You're saying you only want him in areas where he's popular, but you don't want him to show up with you.
No, I didn't say that. I would just say with regards to anyone who wants to campaign with me, when you're having a conversation as to what kind of a campaign event you're going to have, the conversation would likely start with regards to where would we want to have the event, when would we want to have it, who would we want to have it with. And as far as brainstorming goes, at the top of the list, in a state of 62 counties, the conversation would start in whatever areas he happens to be the most popular, or she happens to be the most popular if it's someone coming into the state. So it's not, I'm not saying that any particular location I wouldn't campaign with someone. It's just if you're brainstorming a campaign event over the course of the next 60 days, that's where all conversations would start.
Congressman,